Georgia's 1983 Final Four team, the first team to ever make the Final Four from Georgia. And we've been hearing stories and recollections all week from not only that team, but all the alumni that have come back this weekend. And in fact, that's why you see the Georgia coaching staff wearing the different jerseys to honor that throwback team back in '83.
Well, it's going to be an interesting night, as you said, and a lot of great stories, so I can't wait to show him.
Best over the past couple of days, just to relax and try to come into the game and make shots.
Well, I think the big thing right now, you got to get the ball to the basket, and Birdie Rimdahl gets the shot off, not able to connect. Georgia with the ball, and they're always looking for that.
That I always find interesting is anytime you have a big alumni weekend like this, all former players are back, sometimes it can disrupt the current players from their normal routine as they're, first of all, I mean, they're getting to talk to the likes of Teresa Edwards and a big part of this program as a player and now as the coach.
Yeah, I was going to say, even for her, having her teammate back, it's a big deal.
So starting five for Florida, Kyle and Duke getting the start. This is the same starting five that played against Georgia in Gainesville last month. Duke, short jumper is missed by Kyle, and still no score after the first minute. The Georgia starting lineup. Audrey Warren missing the game today for the second straight game with a minor injury. 3 on the way, that's off the mark too. Got a lid on the basket here in the first 90 seconds.
Well, I think one of the things Florida has to do, they got to figure out a way to be confident when they have the ball. And you talked a little bit about the shooting woes. I witnessed the game on Thursday, and you could tell that there was a certain point that players kind of second-guessed the shot selections that they took. And Brittany Smith with the first shot, not able to get that one to connect. But I think that's one thing for Florida. Try to figure out ways, find ways to attack the basket and or get to the free throw line to see the ball go through the basket.
Post-up move, there's our first basket, and it's courtesy of Rashea Kyle, the transfer from Purdue in her first season with the Gators. It was unusual to see shooting 79% in their last 2 games.
Yeah, definitely interesting, and look at the last 4 possession for Georgia, empty possession. They've gotten 2 turnovers after that last one by Chloe Chapman and 2 missed field goals. So I think what you said earlier, just about getting back into your flow. Alumni weekend, a lot of great people.
Been able to connect with some of the all-time greats. Teresa Edwards spoke to the team yesterday. They had a big dinner last night. What made that year so special is both the men and the women made the Final Four from Georgia, which at the time was the first time it had ever been done.
What a cool story, too. I mean, to be able to have that, the success. We got to talk to Coach Landers just about what that meant for the universe. Get the ball up and in.
How about that creativity? Diamond Battles averaging 14 a game. She's had 9 straight games in double figures. Rimdahl being defended tightly by Chapman, and it forces a turnover. Battles on the break to Chapman. It is wrestled away underneath.
Off balance.
Duke committed the foul, and Smith, who's starting today for the second game in a row in place of Audrey Warren, misses the free throw. Georgia up 4-2 here in the opening quarter. Lady Bulldogs trying to continue to bolster that NCAA tournament resume. Charlie Cream right now has them in the tournament, but among the last 4 in. Oh, nice look inside, and the layup easy for Javin Nicholson.
Yeah, too easy for Javin Nicholson. Florida not able, this press that's going on, and then Georgia will drop back into a matchup man-to-man. Really, it's not necessarily a zone, as we've heard Coach Abe say. And they're just making it hard for Florida.
Correa misses the shot. She did not play in that first game. Coach Abe was quick to point that out, that she felt like Florida really missed Correa in that first meeting between these two.
Well, Correa and Jordan Merritt were out for that game.
And that's kind of been the case this year for Florida. They've had players out at key moments. Rimdahl for 3. And got it. Birdie Rimdahl knocks it down. Coach wanted her just to relax and make the shot, and she did.
I think that's a great sign for Georgia. They've been waiting, and Rendall's been struggling the last couple of games just getting her shot going, so that's a great sign.
Smith misses on the follow, and now Florida has a chance to take the lead here. Short jumper, literally short by deep.
Great player, and even more so a great person.
She went into the Naismith Hall of Fame in 2011, a 5-time Olympian, and was just getting started in her Georgia career on that '83 Final Four team. That's why she's here in Athens this weekend as part of the reunion and celebration of that team. Lish Lewis into the game, misses the jumper right away. And then there's Brittany Smith on the miss as well.
Hey, without coaches yelling at us, I heard it. You got it.
T, why we got you with us? I mean, obviously it's a big weekend for you guys. And what has it been like for you being back at home? I heard you talk to the players the other day. So what was your message to them?
Well, my message was to build on top of this house that, you know, we were the first Final Four team to go there in my freshman season here. And just building on top of that, and they have an opportunity to do something we haven't done. We didn't do it. And just going with, you know, like just what you said, that no coach should ever coach effort. And if you want it, you know, every play, don't take a play off, don't take a fast break off, don't take a layup off, don't take a free throw off. Go at it like your life depends on it. So I tried to leave some of that old school passion, and you know how we all did it together. You know, we didn't know what it was without a family. Everyone depended on each other back in the day, and we didn't really know how good each other were. We were just great as a unit and as a team. So I tried to pass that on because we're all here.
Well, Teresa, the question I keep getting when people find out you're here this weekend is, what are you doing now? What's your life look like these days?
I'm getting paid
She's
back.
She's on the beach.
I wish. I'm trying to get there. I'm paying it back. I'm paying it forward with the young kids I'm coaching as high school up in New York. My wonderful team. I had a great team of seniors this season. So coaching and teaching PE like crazy. So I'm working harder than I ever had to do on the court.
But I can only imagine that they love just having you. And Georgia's going on a run right now. See Diamond battles with another shot. But I can only imagine not only coming here and being able to be with this team, but even with what you're doing and the kids, the young people that you get to coach. But for you, you know, fulfillment, you got your teammates here with you this weekend.
Yeah. I love it.
I can imagine the stories. What are the stories? Tell us some stories that you remember. Coach Landers just talked about, he gave us a bunch of stuff, but we don't have enough time to go through all of that. But what are some of the main things that you remember about your teammates and about Coach Landers?
I'm telling you, we have so many, and we're reliving each and every one of them. You know, Kat, you know, when you get back with your teammates, you're laughing at the things that the public never saw. But what I'm learning now is our big girls feels like they did more work than we did as guards. Are they kidding me? We were so much quicker than them. But no, our big girls had to run sprints faster than we did. So it's such a different generation. We're arguing over who was what, who played where, who tried to stay out of Coach Landers' line of sight in our every huddle. And just really how fast-paced we played the game and had fun doing it. We were such a running team. We loved to press the entire game. We had some battles with Tennessee before your time.
We have been laughing all week because Coach Landers looked like one of the Beatles. We had never seen him with the floppy hair and how skinny he was back then.
Well, he never seen me make a shot like that. It was a game of a lifetime. Yeah, he was. I mean, listen, Coach Landers has so much passion, and when you look back for all the different pictures and craziness, when he gets fired up, when he's in your face, when he's back, people wonder how do we do it. We didn't do it. We didn't pay Coach Landers any attention, man. We just had to be on command for his voice and move. That's it at that age.
Well, it is an honor, as always, to have you on the sideline and just to be in your presence. I wish we were right there with you, but it's definitely an honor to be.
Yeah, that was the one deal I made with Coach Landers. When I come to the University of Georgia, please don't tell anyone that nickname. Call me T. He did that. Now that he's done, you see what happens when it's over? I'll get him. A steak dinner for Coach Landers is cheap. He's a farmer. Come on.
Well,
you guys should have asked for lobster and about 10 dinners. Come on, that was it.
What did you guys have at Coach Landers' house last night?
What about it?
Did he get the T-bone? Did Coach bring out the T-bones last night?
Oh, he brought out everything. It was a party. It was fun. It was food. It was laughter. It was nobody wanted to leave. I ended up, by the end of the night, I'm sitting in his arms about to fall asleep. So, yeah, that's how good it was. We had a great time. I mean, you guys keep working. I'm cool.
Well, what do you think about this team with her in charge? How do you like the way they play this year?
I love it. I think she has a great eye for a new generation. I think she's proven herself way before she got here. I think she understands the dynamics of the SEC as far as getting Georgia. Well, we had a lot of talks about where we were and how we got to where we have gotten. And I think she truly understands where we need to be again. And I love it.
Across the SEC, you can stay with us on SEC Network and also check out that LSU South Carolina game on ESPN. Lish Lewis puts a shot of the quarter, and it is a 3. Florida, while we were talking to Teresa Edwards, went scoreless over the last 5 minutes and 24 seconds of that quarter. So Georgia is playing at a very high rate right now.
Yeah, I mean, Georgia, you look at their defense and just how hard they're making it right here down low. Pressure on every single shot. That last shot that Lewis took on the offensive end, number 23 right there, was almost wide open. Nobody was even around her from the Florida side. So Georgia looking and taking advantage of all the open looks.
Georgia, that system that Coach Abe has, she was so successful with at UCF. It takes a while to get used to. Playing with a fear of failure as Perry makes the shot, and it was her job to get them out of that mindset. And, you know, Tamika, I made the comment, in individual sports, fear of failure can lead to success, but not on a team.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think it's hard to go into a game and you keep thinking about what happened last game or the what if. I think in the game of basketball, I mean, the great thing is it is a team sport. And so you not only have to rely on yourself, I mean, you got to come and be your best, but overall as a team, you got to work hard. Javin Nicholson, nice rebound, great pass.
Finished by Smith. And then Rimdahl quickly up the 4 for Florida. Florida just looking to make a field goal here. Here's Perry again. Rimdahl with the offensive rebound. Deans, and got it.
That was a foul on Kyle.
Kyle, actually, yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
So that's why Georgia has the ball. And a 10-point lead. Smith.
Yeah, Zoisha Smith already 4 for 4. And
a game in place of Warren, really making an impact. She averages 6 points per game and already has 8 today.
Well, I think the interesting thing, you said it a little bit ago, just what Coach Abe said, she technically had 15 new players, and even though 2 of the players came with her, it's still a new system. It's still new players, and so everybody's still adjusting. Diamond Battle just gets in, just weaves her way in, and able to get a great look.
8 points for Battles as well. Florida has made just 4 shots. The rest of their points have come off free throws. They're 3 of 4 from the free throw line. Shot clock winding down. Deans misses that 3. Smith with a rebound. Good steal by Perry. And Perry takes it in.
I love that move by Perry. I mean, she just kind of baited and waited a little bit, able to get that steal, and then the drive just goes up with confidence. I think
Perry,
that's what Florida has to do a better job. They got to, when they attack the basket, they got to shoot the ball with confidence. I think they're waiting to try to get foul calls, and if nothing else, if you go in strong, you might be able to get that. Javin Nicholson for 2.
Florida, everyone on the roster can come back next year. And Kelly Ray Finley loves this. A lot of times when a team is striking shots, in fact, if anything, it's kind of brought them closer together.
Yeah, and you see the numbers right there from Thursday's game against Mississippi State. The shooting woes that they started with, I mean, first half alone, shooting 21%, and then they were able to get it up to 32% for the game. But I think, like I said, it goes back to confidence.
Danish player to ever play for Florida. SEC All-Freshman last year. And Georgia has been so impressive, especially since that overtime loss to LSU. That seemed to flip a switch in the Lady Bulldogs. They've been playing at another level.
Yeah, they have
Rebound.
get the over the back call, but I think, you know, when you're Coach Abe and you're trying to instill a system and you're trying to get players to buy in, if nothing else, what T said, Therese Edwards just said, I can't coach effort. You got to bring that in every single day, and you're seeing that from this team.
Smith with the miss. Brittany Smith with just one bucket so far today. She's been so hot over the last 2 games for Georgia. Nice.
The tournament, so it's going to be interesting to see how all this all plays out.
Georgia plays at Kentucky Thursday. They get Arkansas next Sunday, then Auburn, and finish at South Carolina. Nice steal as Correa races down the floor and lays it in.
Well, 2 players that did not play in the first time that these 2 teams met, Correa being one of them, Jordan Merritt, who was in earlier, another one. So that was something that we talked about already. Georgia's concerned, Coach Abe was concerned about just the different energy that those 2 players bring.
Florida's already made 5 field goals here in the second quarter. They just had 3 in the first. Good offensive rebound again by Smith. She has been attacking the glass.
All over the board. So how they play on defense, all over scramble mode, same way they play on offense. Just get to the basket, get those boards and do whatever.
Diamond battles at the free throw line. She has been such a rock for this team coming in over from UCF. It's been instrumental in kind of guiding the other players in the ways of Coach Abe's system. And both in.
Right now for the game, and Georgia is shooting 47%. So
23 turnovers the first time these 2 teams faced each other. Lewis thought about the 3. She's got the range. Into Smith, that pass broken up by Duke. Correa picks it up, and Correa will keep it. And step foot in Gainesville. Well, here's our college basketball doubleheader Wednesday night on the men's side here on the SEC Network and the ESPN app. Ole Miss in Gainesville squaring off against Florida at 6:30 Eastern. The night following. It's all here on SEC Network and the ESPN app. Here in Athens, Georgia. Georgia has been leading the majority of this one in the first half, trying to secure its spot in the NCAA tournament and alumni weekend. Look at Smith's second effort. Battles. Again.
Doisha Smith is all over the boards, and look at her. She's playing on the wing on that baseline, but flying in from the wing. Well, that's the hard part. When you're in a zone like Florida is, that 2-3 zone, it's kind of like a matchup, but you have to find somebody to box out, and Georgia's just so good at attacking. Look, Doisha Smith down low, not able to get the rebound, but nobody boxed her out.
Perry, and Smith gets the defensive rebound that time. Here come Lady Bulldogs on the break. Battles, pulls up, short, and a second opportunity missed. Third try is good by Nicholson.
Love the effort on the boards. I mean, Georgia is all over the place right now, leading 24-17 on the boards, 25-17 now.
A nice look up the floor. Listen for you. So rebounding, is it more of an instinct or is it a learned skill?
I think it's a little bit of both. I mean, the more you rebound, you kind of learn where the ball is going to come off, as far as the ricochet, as far as even the shot selection. And a lot of times I would know who was going to shoot in what situation, so you can start preparing your body and get in the right spot in case your teammate misses, all right? So KK Dean's able to get the 3 to fall down and bring Florida back in 11.
That's the second made 3 for KK Dean. She's getting close to setting a single season threes made record for Florida. Could happen by the end of the regular season. Good look down to Bates again, and Bates, she's been the recipient of some excellent passes.
She talked about being in the right place at the right time, and Florida trying to get back. They're trying to double the ball sometimes, but that rotation on the back line, KK Deans ended up down low with Mallory Bates, and she shot right over her.
Perry down the lane, blocked. KK Deans on the baseline, set to throw it in. Lobs it in quickly. Florida's got to shoot. Down to 2, broken up by Georgia. And guess who was involved?
And guess what? Zoisha Smith. I said, guess what? Guess who? Zoisha Smith once again all over the place. She won't be coming out anytime soon.
Smith not typically a starter. Even Warren is out for the second.
Looking around, trying to figure out who can bring that same energy, who can bring that same intensity. Look no further, because Zoisha Smith has come in and really has given Georgia. I mean, she has been the starter for this Georgia team, just being really active around the basket.
A nice take by Ricards to pull Florida within 11. Final seconds now of the half, as Georgia has looked so good in this opening half. Lady Bulldogs have shot 45%.
50% from the three-point line.
3 on the way, off the mark, and that'll do it. Interesting to see what the ceiling is for them, because they just seem to get better and better with each outing.
Well, we watched them against the LSU Tigers. I would even argue you see them get better even within the course of the game, with different players subbing in and out. I mean, you could just tell that the energy is just different.
They had the week off. They last played last Sunday with a good win over Vanderbilt. Brittany Smith scoring on her first attempt here in the second half.
Well, Brittany Smith only had 2.5 rebounds in the first half, and I say only just because we're used to her putting the ball in the basket, and I can tell immediately Georgia trying to figure out a way to get Brittany Smith going.
Smith, Zoisha Smith with that missed jumper. You know, typically we're talking about Brittany Smith, but we spent a lot of time talking about Zoisha Smith in the first half in this game today. It was lobbed up, and the rebound taken, then missed again. As it was tough for Merritt to get a clean look at the basket, and then a Georgia
was like, look, we got to start better than this in the second half, and those two will take a seat on the bench, try to get Lish Smith in the game and Javelin Nicholson.
Turnovers here for Florida in the opening minutes of this third quarter. They had 10 at the end of the half.
And some of it, you know, you have to wonder, is it forced turnovers or are they
Coach Abe has relied on Andy a lot this year. They talk regularly. He's still very involved in the program, and still talks a lot to Joni Taylor as well, who's now at Texas A&M.
And I love that relationship. You know, she said Coach Flanders just does a great job. All of the players that he has coached have his number. They all stay in contact. He hears from all of them at all times, and I think that's a tribute of a great coach, you know, like being able to have somebody that you can call on, that you can rely on, and none other than Zoisha Smith keeping the charge going from the first half to the second half.
Got her miss and then put it in on the second try. Correa tries to answer, and Nicholson with the rebound. Battles pushing it up quickly for Georgia. They told us that 83 Final Four team, they still have a text thread to this day. And Battles weaves her way through the lane for the layup.
Battles right now 12 points, and she hasn't had to step up consistently, but when she does, she knows how to score, and I love seeing her weave in and out.
3-pointers today. Zoisha Smith has now tied her career high in rebounds. She's number 0 for Georgia. One more and she establishes a new career high. She's got 10 points already with the double. The ref, she said, Mrs. Ref. You could read her lips, Miss Ref. Battles and an offensive.
Georgia's 8th turnover.
Nobody on the floor right now in foul trouble. That was a big storyline in the first game. A lot of players fouled out. Here's Perry launching the three off the mark.
So Coach A pulled her out a couple of possessions ago. So trying to figure out a way to get her going, and that foul called.
Florida looking to cure that shooting slump they've been in. KK Deans has been the only player really to shoot efficiently the past few games. There she is with the ball. Lobs it into Plano, Texas on the free throw line. 74% free throw shooter. She's one of the players that missed significant time this year, missed 12 games. We've already touched on the fact that Correa missed several games, Merritt missed several games, Zippy Broughton out for the season. And Merritt, a highly rated recruit that chose Kelly Ray Finley's Florida program.
It's interesting when you watch the Florida team play, and you said it earlier, they will get the same players back, and of course I'm sure there will be some new additions. Getting a lot of offensive rebounds, they're just tipping the ball, a lot of opportunities, nobody boxes out. Mallory Bates, yet another offensive rebound.
Foul was on Jordan Merritt prior to that miss, and I think it just gets back to Georgia knows the system they're playing in now, and they play hard. They just play with relentless.
The bench that you can go to, and you see the substitution pattern. Both teams actually. I mean, Florida's done a good job of running subs in, just not able to get people that can come in and score.
Lewis with the steal, and this is traditionally the time of year where a lot of teams are banged up. And even when Coach Abe was at Central Florida, her system has allowed her to have very good Februaries just before postseason when you need to be peaking. Nice stick back by Bates.
And Mallory Bates was the player early on in the season. She was playing really well. Then she went out. She had a little bit of a foot injury.
Bates over her average today as well. We've talked a lot about Zoisha Smith and her performance. Smith on the bench right now has a double-double. Georgia has just been cruising so far. Remember, they had to fight from 13 down to get the win against Florida last month. Shot clock down to 30 in the lane. She's feeling it. She's got 10 points now.
Yeah, into double digits. And look at her even on the defensive end, moving her feet, getting around. Nice block. Javelin Nicholson. And Battles coming in.
Nicholson took the pass from Chapman as she was going out of bounds.
Georgia looked like they just basically increased the energy just one more level, if that was even possible, all over the place. SEC in steals per game. So they get the steals, they get the transition game. A lot of those points are in the paint, excuse me. So they go to that and then force turnovers. The way that they play defense, you see it right here.
Happened to Florida, but Kelly Ray Finley's done a fantastic job just to keep this group together and positive and keep working hard. At the free throw line, Rashea Kyle.
Well, to your point, Sam, I mean, Zippy Broughton goes out before the season even started. So they had to change. They had to change their lineup. They had to change the way that they wanted to play with her. Aliyah Matharu, who they picked up through the transfer portal. They knew she wasn't going to play this year, but still another player looking forward to next year and the way she's a defend on the floor. And then you have players that are playing Correa, Jordan Merritt, who have that they've stayed consistent and they continue to fight.
Bates missed the free throw. The foul had been on Kyle. Yeah, typically when you're around a team going through struggles, you can feel it. But I'd be surprised if maybe not all, but most of these players came back next year, because they do seem to be a very tight-knit group despite the struggles they've had on the court so far, and there's still plenty of basketball to play. Lewis with the steal, leading the break as well, and she'll take the shot. And the rebound picked up. Perry has an uncontested layup.
That's a great heads-up play right there. Lead the charge. Ricard gets the rebound and just pushes the ball up.
Perry was a player Florida bench.
And one of the things, like looking at Thursday's game, Mississippi State, Florida threw out a different type of a zone, and at end of the third, going into the fourth, caused a couple of turnovers quick. And it's almost like even for them trying to figure out ways. Of course, Georgia, you know,
this year. And at the end of the day, we'll only have one undefeated team left in women's college basketball. The two undefeateds playing today, South Carolina and LSU. Good steal. And now racing up the floor for the is Ricards.
I think Georgia, this is the defense I'm talking about for Florida, but Georgia got to get back to just passing the ball. No need to, it's easier to pass through a zone press than it is to dribble through one.
Lewis flips it over to Smith, and now Smith to Smith.
I mean, you can tell the way that she plays, and this is another player that followed Coach Abe from UCF to Georgia, and wanting to play in these big games, wanting to be able to step up. And you're right, at different times she's showing up. Hopefully she'll be able to get back on the floor.
Florida, unfortunately for the Gators, 9 turnovers this quarter as the Georgia defense continues to lock the Gators down. Lewis getting by Rimdahl. Smith needs one more rebound for a career high. Nicholson, a couple spin moves, missed it.
I was about to say, ooh, that's a nice move.
I think she got dizzy after that. That was.
That might be why she missed. The other players have stepped up, and that's been a big reason for the success for Georgia.
Kyle's free throw is good. Gives me a chance to remind you of Thursday night's women's basketball doubleheader here. Starts in Fayetteville with Arkansas hosting Rakia Jackson and the Lady Vols at 7 Eastern. Then off to the Maravich Center. It's the Angel Show. Angel Baker and Ole Miss taking on Angel Reese and number 3 LSU. Should be another great night of hoops right here on the SEC Network and the the ESPN app. And right now LSU's number 3, but if they got to win at South Carolina today, we might see a little shift in that. LSU has a lot to play for today. As Charlie Cream says, if they could beat South Carolina, they'd move up to the 1 line.
I mean, you get to the spot. It is the point guard or whoever the guard is coming off that screen. It is their responsibility to run their player off of you, and that's where you see a lot of young players getting those calls, trying to move their feet.
Yeah, that's a great description of that. Lewis backing out now, and Rimdahl's with her every step. Good defense by Rimdahl. Lewis eventually gets through, and Lewis primarily been coming on off the bench this year to give this team a lift. It's what she tends to do. And now Lewis with 6 points, steal. Smith and
double-double, 12 points, 10 rebounds, getting to the free throw line. I mean, you talk about a young lady that has earned the right to start in today's game.
And 3 steals to go along with that double-double in points and rebounds, and then gets another one. So that's her career high now with 11 rebounds. Good look into Bates as the Georgia bench celebrates.
They're making it look so easy.
A 20-point Georgia lead at the moment. Perry trying to reduce that. Smith with another rebound. Lost it, though, by Perry.
But I like that she's been aggressive, and she has not shown any fear.
Fouls on Diamond Battles. Battles' second foul. Perry with 1 more to shoot. And knocks in the second.
Florida trying to set up a press, trying to see if they can get a stop before the break. Of course, Georgia more than likely will get another shot attempt. They'll look for a shot attempt in the paint.
Our scoreboard actually wrong right now. Georgia has 62, now 64. But Brittany Davis, a big reason for that.
Yeah, Brittany Davis is playing great right now, and a player that you need to watch. If you have not seen her play, she makes it look so easy on the offensive end, but just a tenacious.
No. Yeah, I was thinking a minute ago, I need to get with her trainer. She looks fantastic.
Oh, Sam, I think you work out enough a day. You might be good.
She is elite. I bet Andrea Carter's a junior from Brunswick, Georgia.
Oh, I would definitely agree with you, Sam, as far as Andrea Carter and Javin Nicholson literally takes the ball out of Faith Duke's hands.
Georgia just continuing to show how good they are defensively. Nicholson going to take it down the lane, draw starters. Nicholson misses the front end. She was one of the returners this year. Five players came back for Georgia. A lot of.
Well, I think I've listened to quite a few interviews of Coach Abe, and she always brings up the fact that basically you have 15 new players, and being able to see the players figure out the roles or basically learn their roles and get back into them is something that.
As Smith, 3 steals today along with her 12 rebounds and 15 points. Duke at the free throw line. Perry lost the ball, and now nothing.
There's nowhere to go. Florida needs to space the ball out and then try to attack.
Gators up to 22 turnovers now. They had 23 in that first meeting. Smith going baseline, kicks it out to Battles. A nice pass from down there. Offensive rebound by Nicholson.
Hands are down.
Nicholson back on the free throw line. She is yet to make a free throw so far. 0 for 3. It has 10 points and 7 rebounds, 3 steals as well, and now makes her first free throw of the day to push Georgia out in front 63-41 here in the final quarter.
Well, you look at all the strong suit that Georgia has right now, shooting the ball 45% from the field goal. We already talked about this earlier. They are not a three-point shooting team, so the three-point shot attempts have not been there. Underneath the basket is where it's at. Javin Nicholson not able to finish the
explanation.
Now that's one of those areas of emphasis right now for improving. Georgia is really struggling from the free throw line. They've gotten a lot of free throws. Alicia Smith with yet another. Think about players that continue to get better.
Georgia will have the ball at the moment. It'll be Florida's turn next.
Florida trying to figure out a way, and Georgia continues to look to get the ball down low. Turnover right there.
Lewis was open for 3. Didn't even really seem to think about taking it. Was trying to force it inside. That time it worked against Georgia. Kyle going to work, misses the layup. Rebound by Nyblack, who's in the game for Georgia. Battles with the layup.
That's a great transition play, moving up the ball, and Diamond Battles in the open court. That transition game, that's where she got her best, going to the basket.
And she looks like she's having fun out there as well. I love to see that. A lot of smiles from her.
Well, winning is fun, Sam, so despite what anybody else says, it is fun.
Beautiful pass, and Correa, the beneficiary of that, gets the layup. Again, Georgia will be at Kentucky on Thursday as they try to secure their spot in the field of 68. There's Bates with the short jumper.
Well, did you see that move that Mallory Bates? She brought the ball over, started to drive to the middle, does a post step back, okay? Not like a guard post step back, but a post step back, and Diamond Battles back. want another opportunity underneath Coach Abe and taking advantage of it. Should look good tonight.
Yeah, getting her master's in community nutrition right now after her bachelor's degree in sociology. Georgia taking a little more time on this possession. Shot clock down to 6. Smith with 4 on the shot clock, knocks in. It's the range of Brittany Smith.
And Brittany Smith, after her first 2 scores, it's the first time she scored in the second half.
And she had a couple of incredible games coming into today. She had 22 against Florida the first time they played as well. Flournoy running the point right now, gets it into Smith. Flournoy into the game for the first time, number 10. There's Brittany Smith, misses.
8 empty trips and 9 possessions for Florida this quarter. Not able to execute and get yet another turnover, unforced errors.
What a pass up to Lewis.
What a pass, what a finish. 10.7 steals per game. Today, Georgia has 16 steals.
Chapman with 6 assists today, and there's the steal. Flournoy trying to take it in herself. And it's wrestled away by Deans.
Steal number 17.
Gets
Coach Landers, you better allot some time to be.
Andy Landers, and he takes time with everybody here. Georgia still lives here and still a big resource for Coach Abe.
Yeah, Sam, I think you were complaining, right? Because you had a 4 a.m. wake-up call the next day, so you wanted to get off the phone. But Meg, our producer, our amazing producer, was like, no, Coach Landers, you just keep talking, keep sharing stories.
Now, I was complaining before the call, but not once we got going. I lost track of time. That was gold. That was too fun. And Florida.
There's been a lot of substitution from this Georgia Bulldog team, and one of the stats that sticks out is 36 bench points. So when you start thinking about all the substitute tribute coming off the bench, so it's not just, you're not just relying on your starters to come out, but when Coach Abe can look down and make these substitutions and players can come in and step up, I think that says a lot about your team.
Yeah, it has been fascinating to watch this Georgia team progress through the year from where they started to where they are now. The transformation. Smith backs it out, gives it up. Shot clock down to 5. Lewis recognizing that. She's got to get going. We'll have to put up the 3. It's blocked. Ricard.
It's funny, my sister and I were talking the other day. We went and watched my nephew play, and just talking about the difference. And Coach Abe is like this. When you put, she wants the team to continue to get better.
Yeah, she's a in-the-moment type of coach. I mean, she's expecting effort every moment. It was fun listening to Andrea Carter at halftime talk about observing their practice earlier in the year, just how tough the coaches were on them defensively, and seeing the dividends of that now. It's so much credibility on that Georgia sideline with Nikisha Sales over there. And what
sometimes I wonder what goes through a coach's head.
Yeah, there's no expectation except the best. That's for sure with Coach Abe and this team. Rimdahl open for 3, gets it.
That's another good look for Birdie Rimdahl. Florida has been struggling to try to find some good looks for her.
Nice ball movement. Shot no good. Rimdahl's got 2 threes made today for her 6 points. Looks up the floor, nice pass. Another 3 on the way, off the mark.
7%. Georgia, in the meantime, has only shot 6 threes for the game.
Florida has scored 8 unanswered points, though Georgia's still very much in control here as we hit the 2-minute mark. Nicholson, another spin move.
Georgia is shooting 43%.
And they've mostly been shot by Nicholson. As a team for the season, they're just under 70%. And that time she made them both. So Georgia's gonna get to 6-6 in SEC play and try to solidify that spot in the field of 6. Mississippi State in a similar situation, needing to keep winning to solidify its spot.
Well, especially because there's so many games and so many different things are happening. You know, we always say in the SEC you're not safe, just in every single game matters.
Again, this is coming into today what Charlie Cream had. He had 8 SEC teams in. Missouri still under consideration. He updates that bracket on the ESPN website every Tuesday and Friday. So check that out now, because it's getting down to the wire as we get closer and closer to the postseason. Flournoy, nice looking jumper.
I like that look right there. Very patient with the play, sees everything evolve, and steps right into that shot.
Final minute of play here in Athens on a day that saw the 1983 Final Four team honored. And good look inside by Ricards. This Georgia program, 5 Final Fours and 2 appearances in the national championship. As they look to reestablish that tradition, they're going to go on to win their 17th game of the season.
Georgia looked good today. They played well. They played together defensively.
And at the free throw line now, Jariah Warren, sophomore. She was the Gatorade Louisiana Player of the Year coming out of high school. Scored over 1,500 points, had over 1,000 rebounds in her high school career. Georgia. Flournoy again, missed the jumper. Turnaround by Evans, got blocked. Nicholson puts it up and in, and Javin Nicholson now with 17 points as the clock winds down. Florida, one more shot.